So, without any further ado, please put your hands together for the one person who is also the breathwork facilitator. Thank you so much for learning this. This is Mugdha Pradhan and the founder of I Thrive.
Okay. Cool, thanks. My slides. So the risk with being the last speaker is everyone's covered everything that you might want to share. So I picked this topic because what we will discuss is something, a tool, a modality that can create an exponential impact of everything you've learned so far in the day. Yeah. The PowerPoint? Yeah. How tired is everyone? Not much? Who's very tired? You got an energy drink as a gift. Oh, that's still good for energy. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Cool. So we're going to talk about breathwork for mitochondrial health. I had some really pretty slides, but Canva doesn't work on the system, so we're going to go with the slides we have. We've spoken about supplements, we've spoken about food, we've spoken about diagnostics, genetics, metabolomic stethoscopes. All of these are beautiful, wonderful modalities, and they do have a significant impact in creating health for your clients and for yourselves also as practitioners. But there is one modality that most of us do almost 20,000 times a day without even conscious awareness. And that is what we're going to explore as much as we can in 30 minutes on how can you use breath to increase your bioelectric vitality, to create better cognitive capacity, to improve your immune system, to regulate your nervous system, and to overall just create a happier state of life. That's what we're going to look at. Before we go there, simple test, it's a validated test. It tells you your own tolerance for carbon dioxide. So this is a good time to take out your phones. I'm the only speaker who's saying, like, get your phones out, okay? And find the timer app on your phone. It'll usually be with the stopwatch or your clock or somewhere. Find that. Okay, found it? All of you have your timers on your phone? Okay. So what we're going to do is something called as a BOLT test, which is, we're going to see how much tolerance we have for carbon dioxide. How we are going to do it is we're going to do, are you guys participating in the process? Cool, yeah. So we'll just do 10 gentle inhales and exhales. Okay, just inhaling deeply and exhaling out fully. So in and out, in and out. Okay, just gently on your own count, in and out. You can close your eyes if you want to. In and out, in and out. Okay, now with the last exhale, you're going to exhale completely. Just completely exhale, fully. And start your timer. Okay, let that timer go on. You're just holding your breath out. Hold your breath out for as long as you can until the first urge to breathe arises, okay, which is called as an air hunger. So just hold your breath out as long as you can until that happens. Don't force it. This is not the breath hold Olympics. Done? Okay? Just share your score with your neighbor. 30? 12? 34? Okay? So the average modern day human can hold for about 20 to 30 seconds. If you scored lower than that, it's okay. Just welcome to the modern human day condition of not ventilating ourselves enough. If you could hold maybe 40 seconds or so, congratulations, you might have a second career in free diving or any sport that requires you to hold your breath for really long. Okay? How many free divers here, like budding free divers? Congratulations. Okay, so why we look at this, we will go through this as I speak, but it's a really potent tool. I think Dr. T spoke about it, about how you can create hormesis with oxygen deprivation. Um, just a little quick snippet about why I've become such a passionate advocate about breathwork. So I'm a functional nutritionist, CEO, founder, I Thrive. We've been using food, supplements, there's a stall outside, quietly plugging in products. But we've been using food, supplements, advanced diagnostics, genetics, everything, right, to create health for our clients. And my professional life is dedicated to that, to finding the best solutions for the people who come to us. But I always felt there was something missing. I mean, all of us always feel there's something missing. That's why we're all here. Now, I went for a personal growth summit, and I experienced my first breathwork session there. And it was transformational. It was not just the cathartic emotional release, which those of you that might be here tomorrow morning might experience if you stay for the breathwork session. Beyond that emotional release, it literally felt like there was a bioelectric current pulsing through my body, like so much vital force just flowing through it. And then I connected something deeper within myself. I connected to something much higher than myself. I had like absolute clarity and perspective about my life, all the trauma, which is a lot, and the reason for that trauma. And what was I supposed to do with my life? Like, it just gave me an altered state of awareness and consciousness, and I knew that this is something I definitely wanted to integrate, especially the NOSCs, or the non-ordinary state of consciousness that I could access in that state. Because from a healing perspective, it's phenomenal. Not going to talk too much about this because everyone's spoken about mitochondria today. But we all have understood this much, that ATP synthesis, energy production, your health, or the presence of disease is largely determined by how functional your mitochondria are. If there's too much oxidative stress, your mitochondria are going to really not be happy, which will then result in a body that's showing signs of disease and aging. If the balance between mitophagy and biogenesis is not maintained, that homeostasis is not maintained, again, it's going to trigger a lot of dysfunction. But we've covered a lot of that today. The nervous system is something that we haven't spoken of, so I'm going to talk about it today. So one mechanism through which breathwork really supports human health is it triggers a balance of the nervous system. Now, most of us are stuck in something called as the fight or flight syndrome. Yes? Tigers that aren't really there, but seem to be there in our heads. Tigers of time, tigers of money, tigers of God knows what, like always chasing us. And we are chronically in this fight or flight mode. Now, when we are in this state, it is stress for your mitochondria. Your mitochondria are going to recognize this as stress, whether it's a toxin or whether it is an infection or whether it is a deficiency or whether it is psychological stress, it is triggering the fight or flight state of your nervous system. It is not the state where you repair and regenerate. This, I'm sure as practitioners, we all know. What breathwork can do, and there are printouts of the research papers because I don't have time to take you through the research, so I've put them with scannable QR codes. There are randomized controlled trials, there are researches that have been driven where high ventilation breathing, okay, like a breathwork practice, pre and post, there's a change in the nervous system state. So you can use something which we anyway do to actually alter how you're feeling, what you're signaling to your mitochondria, and thereby communicating a state of safety and a state of healing. The other mechanism through which breathwork really supports mitochondrial health is the carbon dioxide signaling. All of us experienced what it felt like to not have enough oxygen in the body and to have more carbon dioxide. Now, you would think that carbon dioxide is demonized and, oh, it's really uncomfortable to have that much carbon dioxide. In fact, in high-intensity training workouts, everyone speaks of like improving oxygen efficiency. But it's the CO2 that's the vital signaling molecule. So when you actually build better carb tolerance, better carb tolerance also for everyone, but better CO2 tolerance, what that does is it starts signaling your hemoglobin from your erythrocytes to dissociate with oxygen easily so that oxygen can enter your mitochondria. Which is why breath holds, retention, so even in our ancient practices, there are these things called kumbhaks. I don't know how many of you do pranayama practices. Breath holds really have a big impact on how oxygen is utilized by your mitochondria. The second mechanism through which this CO2 again triggers better health is it triggers something called as a NOSC, non-ordinary state of consciousness. So right now we are all sitting here, tired, yawning, wondering what's next, feeling that lack of movement through the day, all of that. There's a certain state of consciousness we are here. Breathwork through these CO2 holes can trigger an altered state of consciousness, which is almost equal to taking an hallucinogen or psychedelics, drugs. It triggers that state without having to consume drugs, okay? So basically what this means is, and there are studies again that are there in the printouts, when you go into these altered states of consciousness, your perspective to life changes. People have reported immediate drops in stress and anxiety post-session. There are measurements of salivary alpha amylase that show that there is a change of the nervous system entirely. Imagine being able to access a higher self, a higher state, a higher sense of self just by doing this work of modulating your breath. Very, very important mechanism for all of us. We've spoken of detoxification. We've spoken of how toxins can impact mitochondria, how they can degenerate and destroy mitochondria. The thing is, the master regulator of detoxification in our body at a physiological level is our lymphatic system. And unlike our cardiovascular system, which has its heart, the heart, as a pump, the lymphatic system does not have its own pump. Things that activate the lymphatic system is movement, jumping, these kind of things. One more thing that activates the lymphatic system is deep diaphragmatic breathing. So when you start doing diaphragmatic breathing, which is belly, chest, and exhale, which we will do in a little while, that diaphragmatic movement actually starts pushing, so it creates a pressure gradient in the intrathoracic cavity. When that happens, there is a push from the lymphatic system towards the outside and the inside. So there's actually a pump-like mechanism that begins. It moves the lymph within your interstitial spaces, and it actually starts pulling out toxins and starts eliminating those. It's a beautiful, beautiful, absolutely free mechanism for detoxifying. Doing something that you would anyway do in that time. No one would stop breathing for 30 minutes. So you're just going to breathe and do it, just that you're going to be modulating how you're breathing. Okay, immune homeostasis, again, we've spoken about the immune system, inflammation, and how mitochondria get impacted by that. I'm not going to take too much time on it. But again, there are research papers which will tell you what breathwork does, high ventilation breathwork does, is it creates a temporary hormetic stress. I think Dr. T spoke about hormetic stressors. So it creates a temporary hormetic stressor, which then pushes your immune system to actually work better. Now, I have experimented with this so much because I live in a city, I live in Pune, where the National Institute of Virology is, my conspiracy theorist always tells me that they test viruses and put them on Puneri people. That's why Pune is like the first place where all things begin. So there's a constant viral thing that's always going on in Pune. What I have tried is maybe taking a little bit of oregano essential oil and then doing a full breathwork session after that. How I feel pre and how I feel post, like it's gone, the virus is zapped. Because the immune system got that little molecule from oregano, the breath really expanded it exponentially, gave it superpowers, and gone, the virus is zapped. I've done that with even the immune support that we have. I am not plugging in our product, but I've really experimented with that. It kills viruses in 45 minutes, if you do it early enough, okay? Because what that breath is doing is it's moving the lymph, it's amping up your immune system, it's putting you into the state of higher awareness where you're not going to be in a why me, oh my God, I'm going to miss work state. You're going to see life as a transient event. And your body gets the support it needs to fight that virus. Again, super important mechanism for mitochondrial health. We've spoken of nitric oxide signaling. I think Dr. Ruhi also spoke about it. Quite a few people spoke about how nitric oxide is a really important gas. And you can use supplements to increase NO production. But guess where nitric oxide is made in the body? Nasal breathing. Okay, you do nasal breathing, your body is producing nitric oxide in the process. Now, if you do modulated nasal breathing and sustained in a certain specific pattern, you're automatically boosting nitric oxide production, which then increases mitochondrial biogenesis, which then obviously is giving you better mitochondrial health. So, breathwork itself, I find that it's, you know, what happens with supplements is always supplements. Testing is testing, food is food. Integrating each of those and bringing them into one thing that's going to create a ripple effect sometimes becomes hard even for us as practitioners. Why I love breathwork is, it takes things about your physiology, your nervous system. It's taking things about, like, you know, improving your oxygen utilization at a cellular level. It's improving the detoxification. It's basically telling your mitochondria, here is a natural process through which you can just become better. I love how breathwork just brings it all together. The obvious benefits, there is increased bioenergetic vitality. I kid you not, guys, when you do like a 45-minute proper conscious connected breathwork session, you will be flying sometimes, again, because I experiment for the sake of humanity. I've taken methylene blue and then I've done a session, and I am vibrating by the end of it. I've done red light therapy and I've done CCB with that. I've done molecular hydrogen inhalation and then done conscious connected breathwork. It's insane, like even something like Shilajit and then do breathwork together with that. The breathwork just, it's like Red Bull gives you wings. Breathwork gives you many things. So it just pushes or it powers up whatever molecule, whatever test material you're putting in your body, and it just takes it to the next level. So increased vitality, improved cognitive clarity, much greater resilience to stress from a psychological as well as a physiological level. Improved immunological competence, and through all of it, because your mitochondria are benefiting so much, there is a deceleration of the aging process. So you become younger without having to take too many things. I do believe in the power of food and supplements and all the other lifestyle interventions. But here is something that is free, that if you learn how to do, you just bring it into your everyday practice and it will work for you. Okay, so theory over. Now everyone's thinking, but we want to experience this. Where's this Red Bull that gives us wings? So that's what we'll do now with the time we have left. We will do a mini conscious, energizing breathwork practice. Remember, you are always in control. At any point of time, if you feel like stopping, you can do that. I'm just going to get my timers and everything there. A minute. Yeah. Okay. Music. Yeah, they'll switch on the music, but just sit straight. Sit comfortable. Okay, and just follow my voice. I'll keep guiding you through the process. Volume kadme swalpa.
Breathe in.
Okay, so sit as if your spine is being elongated, so something is pulling it from the top, but relax your shoulders. So straight spine, relax shoulders, sit comfortably, and just watch how the breath is supposed to be made before you start breathing on your own with your eyes closed. Okay, so you want to inhale into your belly. So when you inhale, it's a in-breath into your chest, and then you exhale. You don't have to move your shoulders. I'm exaggerating it because I want to show you guys. But inhales, expand the belly, expand the chest. Exhales, completely relax you. Inhaling into the belly and exhaling fully without a pause. Okay, so let's start. Close your eyes. Nose. I want you guys to do nose to mouth. So you're inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. And then I'll switch instructions when I want you to start breathing through the mouth and exhaling through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Yes. Sorry? Door?
Breathe in.
You want the door
Breathe
open?
out.
It's stuffy. Okay,
Breathe
can
in.
we keep the door open a little bit so that
Breathe
there's some
out.
fresh air? Okay,
Breathe
so in and
breathe
out.
Breathe in. Breathe out.
In and out.
Breathe in. Breathe
In
out.
and out.
Breathe
You
in.
can close your eyes.
Breathe out.
Okay, you're safe. This is your body, it's your breath. You do as long as you can.
Breathe in.
In
Breathe
and out.
Breathe
In
Breathe
and
out.
out. Inhaling into the belly, expanding your chest, and exhaling. Inhaling into the belly. In and out. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. Okay, relax your mouth, relax your body. Sink into the chair. In and out.
Breathe
In
Breathe
and out.
Breathe
In
Breathe
and out.
Breathe
In and out. Now
Breathe
increase
in.
the pace a little bit.
Breathe out. Breathe
In and out.
Breathe out.
In and out.
Breathe
In, out.
Breathe out.
In and out.
Breathe
Belly,
Breathe out.
chest, and exhale.
Breathe out.
No pause between the breaths. Your inhale and your exhale become a cycle, a continuous loop. So you're inhaling and you're exhaling. You're inhaling and you're exhaling. In and out.
Breathe in. Breathe out.
In and out. Keep going. Like a gentle wave. The breath enters, it expands your body, and as it leaves, your body relaxes. A wave coming in, a wave going out. In and out. In and out. With your eyes closed. In and out. In and out. Now, if you feel comfortable,
I trust.
you can start breathing in through your mouth and exhaling through your mouth. So inhaling through your mouth, because then you can take in more prana, you can take in more air. So inhaling through your mouth, exhaling through your mouth. In and out. And the yawns are okay, the tightness is okay, all of that is absolutely okay. In and out. Like a wave, going into your belly, expanding your chest, and completely exhaling. In and out. The yawns, the tears, all of that is okay. In and out. If you feel a little lightheaded, that's okay. That's just part of the movement of energy through your body. You might feel a little tingling in your fingers. That's okay too. That's absolutely normal. Just observe everything that comes up, the thoughts that show up. If your head feels heavy, you can slow down the pace for yourself.
Feeling every
In
cell in your body
and out.
come alive.
In and out.
Every cell called into
In
resonance,
and out.
called into alignment.
your breath, to
Trusting our
experience it fully,
bodies.
to feel it in your body.
Trusting the wisdom of the earth.
In and out.
What has she shown
In
you?
and out. Follow this pace now. In, out. In, out. In, out.
Where does this knowledge live in your body?
There might be some stiffness in your neck, some stiffness in your back. You can use the breath to energize that part of your body. Okay, so use that breath to bring back movement into that stiff part of your body. You can move your body, move your waist if you feel like it, move your spine if you feel like it. It's your body, it's your breath, it'll tell you what to do. In and out. In and out. In and out. Take a nice big inhale
Can you go?
and fully exhale. Exhale completely and hold.
How much energy can you move?
When you cannot exhale any longer, just come back to your normal breath.
Feeling how far you can go when you're grounded
Just come back
When
to
you're
your normal
connected.
breath.
to the earth.
Inhaling and exhaling through your nose again. And just relax. Just slow down.
How much energy can you move when you know you have a safe body, a safe
Okay. You can gently rub your palms together as you sit in this space. This was a very short snippet into the kind of energy breath can produce. I wish I had more time for you guys.
If you want to experience Mugdha Pradhan's coaching, breathwork coaching and facilitation, that will be done tomorrow morning above the reception area of the Soul Nest. Okay, so if you want to experience it tomorrow morning at 7:30.
7:30. So those of you that are staying, that want to experience the full 45-minute, 1-hour session with essential oils and yeah, more interesting stuff. Please just scan. There's a WhatsApp group created, and I would be very, very happy to conduct this entire session for you. 7:30 in the morning. Okay, there's like a mega echo
I'll be
happening.
echoing after.
Yeah.
There's a lot of energy in the sound as well.
I know, right? So, but this is the power of your breath. I know we need to go on for the meditation, and this will actually take you towards that now.
Yes, yes, certainly will, certainly will.
but-
Did we enjoy it? Did we enjoy this little trailer? Yes, yes, yes. And now, definitely. I think this is a better one that you can hear me. All right, let me just